We were just talking about more than 90 million people in the U.S. have already voted, either mailing in or in person. The conventional wisdom is that this higher turnout already is a positive sign for the Democrats. Do you tend to agree with that assessment?
Well, number one, thank you for having me. I do tend to agree with that. I got to tell you, 94 million. I just checked that data. The number is now 94 million Americans have already cast their ballots, and this is 40 hours away from when polls close. And I got to tell you, that's such a big number, 2/3, if you will, of the total vote in 2016. Now, let me just step back and put this election in context. At its core, this election is a referendum on the current president. Did he do what he said he would do? Are you any better off 4 years ago today than you were 4 years ago? The answer to that for so many Americans and American businesses is a resounding no. And this is despite the pretty positive GDP data that we got last Thursday. Many Americans feel that the economy is not working for them. And I got to tell you, having experienced economic anxiety myself, there is no worse type of anxiety in the world than economic insecurity and anxiety. And I think some of that is behind this incredible surge in the early vote numbers that you just talked about.
And how much do you think the situation overall was affected by the pandemic and COVID? Because prior to the pandemic, the president was scoring very high on his performance economically and was more trusted versus Joe Biden in terms of his handling of the economy. And clearly, since then, over the summer, things have nosedived and taken a severe turn for the worse. Today, the polls show that Joe Biden is more trusted to deal with the pandemic, but Trump is still slightly ahead on the economy. So how much of where we are today is just a function of this pandemic hitting during the course of the summer?
I think that's the right way to think about this. When I step back and take a look about where we are now, if this election was based on the economy, rightly or wrongly, I think Donald Trump would be ahead. I would argue that the Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell has had more to do with how people view the economy than the president's policies. But having said that, we cannot escape the fact that what people are living with right now in terms of how they view the economy is all through the prism of this coronavirus. We're talking about 1,000 people now dying a day, 230,000 people collectively. And that is all because, many would argue, because the president was not straightforward with them from the very beginning. And even more recently, the fact of the matter is he says we're rounding the corner when his own scientists and international health officials say we're not. So I think when people examine their own economic situation is through the lens of the coronavirus. And I don't know that that's going to be a positive outcome for the president.